Okay. Hello, everyone, and I hope you're having a wonderful end to another wonderful week. My name's Sugi Yamagawa, and I'm just a regular guy VTubing my slow life hobbies in my 30s. And today, on Valentine's Day, I'm going to be spending today doing what I love because, well, I don't have a loved one in my life. Well, a significant other, if you will. So, hey, that's why you guys got hobbies, right? So, today, and actually today is going to be a real fun day because I'm going to be two of my hobbies, kinda, sort of. So we're going to be doing some woodworking for gardening purposes. We are going to be making what's called a cold frame today. What if you may be asking, what is a cold frame? A cold frame is basically literally a frame made out of typically wood. Occasionally I have seen some people like a more masonry type of cold frame, but yeah, you usually have some sort of like frame structure that goes over the ground, and you will either have glass or acrylic. Sometimes some people, as like a real budget option, use plastic, like a thick plastic sheet, not like a thin, easily damaged plastic sheet. So we're gonna be building that today. Some might be having like some wondering what cold frame is. I actually image is that image? Yes, this one should be. Yeah, here we go. So here is a visual representation of what we're going to be building today, or attempting to. I'm sure. So I am going to be doing some things differently. A lot of that is going to be dealing with the top part of our cold frame, and a lot of that is relating to the fact that these build plans call for acrylic, and I don't know when these build plans were made, but acrylic's expensive, yo. This thing is supposed to be nearly 3 feet in the short dimension and 6 feet in the long dimension. And at the local home center, that's like $120 of acrylic. And I was like, whoa, that's expensive. But okay, glass. How much does it cost to do this in glass? And I bought 3 sheets of 3 foot long by 2 feet wide. 3 sheets of glass was like $63, which was basically half the cost of acrylic. Which I'm like, okay, I'm now dealing with glass, which is a little bit heavier. And if it breaks, I am going to have hand-opening substances lying around. And so, yeah, I went with glass because it was cheaper, and that was more in line for my budget for this build. Because if I'm doing like $60 for, I spent like $60 on glass, 60 some odd. I'll be throwing about $20 of hardware at it, and as for my wood, I've already bought the wood, but I reckon I'm probably got like 50 to $60 in wood. So quick math says I'm already like at where I'm at. I am spending $150 roughly USD on this build, so it's a little on the pricey side. I mean, it's not super. If you kind of take a bit closer look at our, let's call these build suggestions or build vision, because I'm not going to be building this exact thing for various reasons. Because one, I'm not using acrylic sheet. I'm not, which changes how I build the top. More on that at 11. And sides, these sides look to be 2x6s, and I'm actually using 1x6s because I already have a whole bunch of 1x6s, and honestly, the 1x6s I have are cheap. So I have cheap materials, and I'm going to be using my budget-friendly materials because, hey, I am a guy on a budget. Like most people, but hey. So, I'm going to... So, oh, yeah, actually. So, I actually finished a thing I've been wanting to do, but it's been a little challenging for me to do. I've been very behind on projects around the homestead, but I have got this project done, and that is the leveling of my raised beds. So today's cold frame is actually going to go in one of these raised beds. It's not going to go in the one you see pictured here, but I have 3 of these bad boys, and as you can tell by the cinder blocks, like right there, whole smokes, like I had to level these beds, basically. Actually, at the beginning of this week, I was ultra behind on my chores. Well, like getting ready for spring, because the thing is, it's February 14th. We're halfway through February. Beginning of March is beginning of food growing season where I live, and it's like I've got to, because I had to level these raised beds, and I have to do this during the off season. I can't be like digging in the beds when I'm trying to grow food in them. And I finally got that part done this week. I now have to grab a whole bunch of soil from one side of the homestead and dump it into these beds, and then hope that all that soil kind of like settles out, and then I can be like, okay, I can call myself ready for the spring gardening season. Granted, not all these raised beds are going to get planted out like soon at the beginning of March. Not all of them. This one that you see pictured here, this one actually will, because this one is going to be my. It's going to be my legume bed. So I have 3 of these large birdies raised beds, and this one. So what I do for my raised beds is I'll do a legume bed, which is peas and beans. Sometimes I might try and squeeze some other stuff in there, like maybe some like radishes or something. That doesn't take up a lot of space. Then I'll do a root crop bed, which is mostly like, it's my big focus on onions, carrots, leeks, various root crops, a lot of that veg. Also some lettuce, and then I will also have, sometimes in the past I've called it a salsa bed, but it's technically not right. It's more Solanoaceae. For those who don't know what the Solanoaceae plants are, at least as far as like gardening's concerned, it's where my peppers and tomatoes, nightshade family. So, and one's like exclusively peppers and nightshade. So, yeah, and I pretty much like rotate the beds out because different types of crops take different types of nutrients. And by rotating my beds out, I am able to get like, I'm not trying to like suck all the nutrients out of the beds, and I can kind of like balance as far as my plant's nutritional need. So it's been working so far. I think this is my 4th year using these raised beds, so I have had a lot of issues soil settling, but a lot of that is because when I first filled these beds, I did more than half the filling in wood chip, because wood chips are basically a free and near infinite resource for me. So I use a lot of wood chips in a lot of the stuff I do. But all those wood chips are really starting to break down, and actually all those breaking down wood chips is why all the dirt, the scattered dirt you see like around the base of this raised bed, the reason why that dirt is so black is because it has so much of that organic matter from all the wood chips inside. So a little bit of a fun thing there. So yeah. Boy. So I have most of the way, because I wanted to do the raised bed leveling last Saturday, but then it rained all last Saturday. And I was like, how can I get anything done? If it's just gonna rain. And like tomorrow's gonna be likewise the same. It's gonna rain more, but hey, I'm gonna take my brother-in-law out to get food for his birthday. So I'm gonna at least have fun with him. So I feel like I've probably have yapped enough about talking about the project and such. So let's go ahead and let's get focused on what we're actually here to do today. And so here is Miter Salcoon slides. I love this thing. Granted, every time I use this thing, I'm very much reminded I have to rebuild this at some point. My Miter Sal stand. Like this sits a little bit higher than where my in out feed supports are. So I've got work here to do, but hey, you know what? We're going to be cutting a whole bunch of cedar up. Yeah. I actually spent some time before stream working on this, and this is a parts list for today. So basically everything we need in terms of cuts. If I can learn where my camera's hanging out at. But yeah, this is the whole parts list, and this is going to be my guide as I go through all these boards out. Actually, our first victim here is going to be 1x4s. We're going to be using 1x4s and 2x4s. Top lid part, and then our sides are going to be built by the 1x6s and some 2x4 corner supports. So I'm going to get some water in me. I'm going to get marking device, measuring device, and most importantly of all, safety. Okay. Yeah, I have a bit of a rough edge here, so I'm going to take that off. Start getting pieces. Okay, have some fun. Yeah, that big stubs. That little. I gotta have it. Okay. We have a nice flat end. So I'm gonna do 39-inch pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on those. While also, please excuse the camera. I am gonna try and bring my mic a little bit closer to me because I want to be a little. I'm gonna want 4 of these bad boys. Kind of just bring it down just to make sure I hit my mark. Good. And check. Bada bang, bada boom. We have 39 inches of cedar board. Very pretty. Very pretty. Very pretty lumber. Oh. Yeah, I have you guys. Talk about you guys. Here, but... Now, make sure. Turmeric. Good. And that's going to be piece number 2 of 9-incher. I'm going to want... Don't think this piece left is B20. Ooh, we're going to get a 21 inch out of this. Okay, so this is my nice, flat, pretty, squared up end. This end is not so good. So what I'm going to do for this one, reference off my good end, back down here, and what is 21 inches down here. So, I also know for my 21 inches, I want them to be just a hair bit long. Just a hair bit long. Got my mark right here. Okay. Okay. Had a bit of an issue with blade landing on that knot. I'll cut. Eraser. I need to stay away from edge. But yeah, that's our first piece of, well, our first 21-inch piece of trim. So, part of what these pieces are going to be used for is I'm going to build a big frame out of 2x4s, and with that frame, I'm going to create a notch all the way around the edges. There's also going to be some supports on the inside sides. What my 1x4s are going to be used for is they're going to go over the 2x4s, and they're going to be the thing that holds the glass panels inside the 2x4 frame. That's what these are for. So, I have kind of made it a little bit more challenging for me to build like this, but thing is, working with the glass and such, to me, this was like the best way of going about it, is to create like a sunken in frame. The glass panels will lay in that frame, and then I can add trim that's going to help hold everything. So, if it doesn't make sense now, well, I'm just a guy flying by the seat of his pants in a workshop. Next piece. So, again, we have an edge, rough. Have to take care of that. I've got a little bit of a block here. Just to create another block that I can put at my. That way, that will stand it off, and I'll have more of a bracing. Here goes nothing. But yeah, that got a nice block here. So I'm going to take this block. Go down. Piece in. Build here. hell back down here. I can do what I want to do. And I'm also really glad I'm glad I bought this new miter saw because it actually has a blade guard. My earlier miter saw did not have a blade guard. I can be safer now. That's a good thing, right? Safety is important. I try to believe it. Not super all the time. And my sorry for safety. Right. Good. Nice. Go. There we go. And since this is our first board out of this, well, out of board that we're cutting out. Good. Oh, gonna be our next piece. It's 3 out of 4. Got a knot down here. Very nice. Oh, our knot is actually our pass. Womp womp. Offcut's not going to be enough for another piece. But I can save it as scrap wood for. Make sure I hit my mark. I can cut. Offcut. Set that off to the side. Peace. Wah! Hey. Okay. Next 1x4. Actually, our last one. Now we just inch pieces out of it. So I'm really close to my end. Just straight. Wait for my spinny blade of doom. Always like look. I am very much an enthusiast for trees. Good. For me, I might be a little scatterbrained. And we'll get our next. Hit the mark. Got nice, straight 90-degree. Very nice, very nice. This is gonna be a lot of rinse and repeat for me on my side of the world. Because even though, oh wow, I gotta do 6. I gotta do more than that. Oh man. Okay. So that. But I also noticed my mic here is not really picking up the saw, and I really think these using tool streams should have the burr using tool noises. So I took a quick second to just turn up the gain on the mic. Hopefully we'll have more like burr tool noises. Ideally. Oh. Ooh. 1 inches. Yes. We're good to go. Man, I'm gonna really have to. I'm gonna have to look into my audio filters after this because I like my tool noises. I really like tool noises. So I've got 4 of those. Problem is, I don't think this is not going to be enough wood for what I want. Problem. But that's I don't. Because the thing is I'm only going to be short by a little bit. I might be able to just like piece it out because I've got this like because this offcut's only like 2 inches short, so we might be able to work with it. I might have some more lumber back in storage, which I might check at some point, but not entirely in the sure now. So, yes. And there we go. So that's all the 1x4s, mostly. And I don't, as much as I don't mind having to adjust things all the time, go with a wider stop block back there. So, but I did tag this stream with gardening, and just because we're building stuff about gardening, I feel like it's also important to kind of like showcase the why. So, and I did not talk about the why. So, why am I building a cold frame today? I am building a cold frame today because I want to get a head start on lettuce season. I am a big fan of salads. Vegetables are good for you, specifically leafy greens, and I just need more of them in my diet and in my life. So I kind of just want to like briefly here show you. Look at my little ones. Look at them. They are so cute. But yeah, this is Yugoslavian red butterhead lettuce. So these are the little. Ooh. Okay, but these are going to be the little ones that are going to be living in this cold frame I'm building today. So I just wanted to show these, and I want to show you what I'm fighting for. So that's what I'm fighting for. So 1x4's done. 2x4s are going to be next. And the 2x4s are going to be light challenge. Because I have to cut 4 different pieces, 4 different like lengths of 2x4 out. And I have to be really particular about where I get some of my cuts from. So I'm going to have to be really ultra careful on this. And I'm just going to have to be really cognizant of what I'm doing. But the start is going to be just the same. That is just finish squaring up our end. Also, all these little scrap pieces that I'm laying off to the side here, I'm going to be using these as like kindling and stuff for fire pit sometime. So this is going to be a good end. I want to get two 75-foot length, not 75-foot, 75-inch lengths out of these. So I'm actually going to spin this around because the simple fact of the matter is I do not have 75 inches of freeway this way, but I do have 75 inches of freedom of movement that way. So I'm going to be sending it towards this way, and this is going to be my piece, and this is going to be the offcut. It's a bit different than how it normally is, but it's really challenging with my miter saw setup to do things the way I would prefer to do them most ideally. So there's my 75-inch mark. So everything from this mark on out that way. Firebolt. And we'll set that. This adjust. Just right. Bring it in. Test a little. Okay, that's going to be good. We can cut this. Okay. So, for my big pieces, I'm going to be taking these and sending these over to my table saw versus my shorter pieces, which I've been keeping on my small little, I actually have so you guys can't see it fully. You can kind of see it, but this 2x4 is sitting on a small table that I have that's located right underneath my main workbench. So that's where I'm kind of like parking my small pieces that I cut out. Larger pieces are going to go over to the table saw. So this is going to be a lot like streams where I build big things, and I'm going to be moving around the shop a lot. There's going to be a lot of moving around the shop for today. So this is my finishing. I have an unfinished end here. So I need to evaluate the 2x4. So my shortest 2x4 I want is going to be 10 inches. Whereas my longest is going to be 18 inch. Well, I've got 10 inch, 18, 33, and then 75 are my sizes. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get my 10 inch. So I'm going to do a mark just past my 10. And then I'm going to do one more mark just past my 20. And then I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to make that cut. Cool, just want to brace everything. Make sure everything gets held well. Dial in where I want to be, and let's cut. Okay. So since I have just like the small scrap all cut, I really do like the fact that my miter saw station actually has this kind of like small area here where I can put like small things, and even if I want to like say I want to like turn it and do a miter cut, I still kind of have that room. Oh, it's a small little detail, and I just like parking scraps here because who knows if I'll use them for blocking for anything or different stuff. So I get 2 10-inch out of this. Now this is one I have to be a little extra careful of because both sides are my workpiece basically. And I want to make sure I get 2 good pieces of lumber out of this. Okay, that did not cut fully through, and why did it not cut through? And that's for some reason. Because for some reason, this knob that controls like the depth of what the miter saw does, it always comes loose on me. So. And there we go. Those are clean cuts. Ooh. Oh, it looks pretty. Look at that. It looks like tree. Oh, man, that looks so cool. It's like sincerely cool. Oh, they literally had to like bandsaw this. Just like this. Oh man. View from other side. Oh man, that's cool. Oh man, I love that. I love it when you can have like cool stuff like this. That's genuinely cool. Oh man. Okay. Oi oi. Okay, so that is one of our 2x4s cut up. Let's go ahead and grab the next one. Okay. Okay, so this one's going to be a big thing. A couple of these are going to be pretty big things because I need 96 inches. Okay. So let me talk a little bit about some of my challenges for today's build. Hey, come back here. So ideally, one of my great hopes is to pull a full 72. Well, to pull 3 33-inch pieces out of one of these bad boys. The thing is, I was initially really wanting to use this one because this one's very straight. I'm gonna go look. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I am. Yeah, this is gonna have to be the one that I'm gonna have to pull 3 30-inch cuts, but I do have small problem. That's my small problem. It's this right here. And yeah, but otherwise, like, this is literally this is the straightest and most even of my cedar 2x4s. The other one that I have has just like the most atrocious bend in it, which is fine for some of the pieces. The real key thing, the reason why I want to be very insistent on my 33-inch pieces of 2x4 to be as straight as possible is because they're going to be the pieces that are going to run from top to bottom inside my frame. And I want those pieces to be as straight as possible so that way I can line them up on my glass seams. So that way they evenly cover both sides of the glass. So we are missing a fairly bit of a chunk out of this. I would have preferred to cut a little bit more of this off, but I'm gonna have to come out to here. Just what I have to do. This is just what I have to do for the project. Thing is, I'm gonna have to cut a little bit off down there at that side of the world for my what's it called? What do I call it? I call it my offcut. Yeah, my offcut. Yeah, that thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark this at 96 inch. Wait, Doogie, do your math. If I want 333, I have to come out to 99. Okay, so I gotta Gotta come out a little. Oi! Oh no! Don't do that. Please don't do that. Oi, 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 oi. So, yeah, okay. So this means I gotta cut this much off. So I will unfortunately have to have a little bit of that, but I will be cutting. I suppose the thing I can like kind of look back on later is I will be cutting a bit of a chunk out of these pieces, partly due to the fact I will be creating a notch in them for the glass frame. So, go ahead and let's make this 2x4 a pretty 2x4. Let's block. And we bring this in. Actually, I don't have to push it up just yet, but a nice, lean 33 inches. Marked. Okay. Brace, everything looks good. Ooh, wow. That's about as good as it's gonna get, folks. So let's give this a quick test. 33 inches. Woo! Okay. So, I'm pretty sure my 33-inch pieces will fit on my little table, and they will. Excellent. Excellent. So we'll bring it coming on down. But yeah, I actually really enjoy working with cedar lumber like this, because gosh, this stuff just smells like pencil shavings. And I just took my measuring tape to the other end because I wanted to make sure that I had a full other additional 33 inches in this piece. It is of the utmost importance I get this number of pieces out of this piece. It is very important. Great. That's gonna be that. I'm not gonna test. We're gonna express optimism. Not super overfilled on the dust bag. I was a little concerned because I did get a little bit more like dust blowout, and usually that means like the dust bag back there is a little overfilled, but that actually was not the case. Good. Good. So, we will be cutting off just a bit. Just a... Probably mark a... There we go. So we'll just take a little bit off to make our end look nice and pretty. Okay, check. Wait for the spinny blades of doom to stop. And then that I can throw off into mine. But yeah. Go ahead and give it a check. Yeah, there we go. Wait a second. I need to... It's actually a bit longer. Which is a... So that is going to be a slight problem with the 33-inch pieces, because the thing is, all the 33-inch pieces have to basically be nearly the same. They have to be as similar as possible. to keep my frame from bowing out. So for this one, I'm probably gonna want to take literally just a little bit of a blade's width off, just because it's just a hair bit long. Okay. Let's see what we got. Perfect. We are just great with this. Yeah. 2x4. Cut this size. But it's not a 2x4. Well, it is 2x4 dimensionally, but it's cedar 2x4. It is superior 2x4. Okay. And I am on a roll with my 33 inchers, so I'm going to grab the last one for that. And here it is. So I've got a nice clean end on this end. This is actually a scrap piece from a different build. So for this, I'll just measure based off my clean end and find where I want 33 inches to be. And then I know I want to come a little bit more in. And then this will be the last of the 33 inch. Quick test. Looks good. Let's go. Walk off to the side. We'll grab piece. We'll do a QC check. It's just a hair bit too long. Just a little bit. So we'll see how that is. I should have took a little bit more off, and I didn't. Oh. Will I be on the money now? Close enough. Close enough to spec. Okay. So I've been kicking up a lot. I've been kicking up a lot of sawdust here. I need to take a bit of a hydration, if you don't mind. And also, I think once I'm done with the getting my 2x4 to length, I'm also going to take a bathroom break because I'm starting to get to the point where I need to go. Well, this guy has certainly seen some better days. I actually should have been urine. What? Oh, wait. Ooh, I had thought, and I do not like the thought I just had. Oh boy, this is fun. Okay. But we're gonna get to that thought here in a little bit, but for now, we're just gonna clean this end up right quick. Off to the side. Okay. Bring this in. So, the slight uncomfortable truth and thought that I just had is I need to pull two 18-inch pieces of 2x4 out of my stock, and yeah, I don't got the stock for that. Well, I actually do have one. I do have a piece, a 2x4 I could use, but that is earmarked for another project. So, man, today's gonna be fun. I mean, I can kind of sort of live with what I got, at least as far as like doing the build today. Well, getting as much of the build done today as I can. I'm not entirely sure how far I'm gonna, but I'm not counting on getting 100 to 100% completion today. I'm not 100% counting on it. I do want to get close though. I want to get as close as I possibly can. Bada bang. Up. Much. Over. Side. Good enough. Down. Check. Good. I'm gonna really have to play with my OBS filters with Tool. I keep, because wait, because this picks up in my. It's done decent jobs picking up the drill, but it doesn't pick up my. Doesn't pick this guy up. I wanted to pick this guy up. I like this guy. Don't you want chat to hear what you have to say, Skill Mitersaw? I'm sure you definitely want to let chat know that you're really good miter saw. And I'm a hell of a dork talking to a tool. But yeah. So this is going to be our other like big long piece. So excuse me while I be awkward and take it over to the table saw. Oy. Later today is going to be. So, thing is, I was hoping to pull two 18-inch pieces out of this, but I only have 22 inches of board, and as I'm sure for those keeping track at home, there is no way for me to do that. Yeah, I have to have these. Ouchies. So I had like a piece of my finger like this. Well, kind of like like that. Yeah, that's a better view. And then I let go and it kind of pinched me a little bit. That was the reason why I exclaimed that just now. Gordon, we are well supported. Drop, test, drop, test. That's good. Let's cut. And there we go. You see, we had some really beat up edges on that 2x4. Actually. Yeah. Granted, I am also short by 18 inches on my 2x4 cedar, so I think. So I do. I actually kind of have to go. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna throw on the BRB screen. I'm gonna go hit the restroom, and then I'm also going to shuffle around my overstock of wood. I should bring my tape measure with me, and I'm gonna double check and make sure I don't have like any scrap pieces like for this build. So, BRB.
これより鬼ヶ島国際鬼サミットを開催いたします。昨年度多くの負傷者を出し、角が欠ける程度の被害が出ている豆腐ハンバーグ問題につきまして、生ハゲ委員会主導のもと、大豆ダメ絶対キャンペーンを実施いたしまして、国民の鬼の皆様が間違えて接種せんよう、こちらの方針にてお知らせしていきたいと考えております。
Okay, and I'm back. Sorry for the delay, but I did check my back stock of lumber, and I did have more 2x4s laying around, so yeah. And also, this one's like really straight. This one's like really straight. It's real nice, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a quick cut to create a finish edge here, and then we'll cut an 18-inch piece out, and that will actually conclude our 2x4 cutting. Let's bring. Bada bang. Boom. Looks good. And now let's bed. Ooh. Ah, it's so pretty. I just love cedar. I really like this wood. It's really soft, it's really easy to work with, and it's also really rot resistant. Which is actually one of the reasons why I'm using this for a cold frame, is it's rot resistant. It weathers well. It is a durable wood for outdoor applications. Mark. Bada bang, bada boom. Okay. Braced well. We'll come down. Boom, we hit the mark. Let's go. And ta-da! 18 inches of cedar. Oh, cool. That can... Okay, cool. So, for those keeping track at home, we have... Well, actually, wait a second. Do this. Something like this. So, we got our 1x4s. They're taken care of. The 2x4s are now taken care of. And we can now go on to the 1x6s. Sweet. And now I have to store this somewhere. You know what? Humor me here for a little bit. Humor me for a little bit. Okay. Okay. So, this is what we're gonna do. This piece of wood is just, well, it's a little bit longer than 75 inches. One of the issues is, one of my earlier pieces of 75-inch cedar is honestly pretty wickedly, it's really wickedly bowed. What's kind of bowed? So I'm actually going to go ahead and cut my second 75 piece out of this one because this is really straight. And so I'm going to make like a visual demonstration. So what I want to do with the 2x4s that are going to be used for the frame top is I want to create a 3/8. No, I just need a 1/4 inch. I just need a 1/4 inch depth. 1/4 inch depth cut by inch 3/4. Inch 3/4 across, 1/4 down. And I just need to create a little notch. And what that notch is going to be for is my glass is going to sit in that notch. And then when I do my 4x4 trim, I'll put the trim over the top of these, over the top of the 2x4 frame, and then the glass is going to sit in basically like a little bit of a pocket. But to create that pocket, I need boards that are reasonably straight. Ooh, sorry about that. Sorry. Oh, wait. But yeah, I need straight 2x4s. This one's a lot better than one of the other ones I have over there, so sorry for getting your hopes up at having the 2x4s being done, but yeah, I know what's gonna make my life harder later, and I don't want to do that. So we're gonna be using this piece for one of our 45-inch pieces, and then that twisted thing that I got sitting on my table saw right now, well, we'll probably use that for a project. Roughly in position. Check. We can bring it this way a little bit. I like it. There we go. Ooh. Okay, that's cool. So this was also like one of those 2x4s that was like kind of ripped in half. I have... Here, I want to show. Yay. Looks like tree. I like it. I like trees. Okay. So, we got this. I gotta take this to the table saw. That's where there's room. Oh, yeah, those are... Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Now we get to play with the wide wood, like this thing. So this is going to be our. These are 6 inches. Are these actually 6 inches across? They are. They're actually a little bit more than 6 inches. Okay. Cool. So for like this one, I need to kind of see what I need to see my parts list, which my parts list for these is actually pretty simple. I need 5 that are going to be 31.5 inches across, and then I'm going to need 5 more, but they're going to be 71 inches across. So I have unfinished edge here. We're going to clean that up. It's basically going to be the same process as everything else. But this is actually a board that has some pretty gnarly stuff going on. So hopefully we can just cut that out. And I'm pretty sure we've got 31.5 inches board here. So we'll go ahead and start by cleaning it up. Up and off to the scrap side. We'll turn you around because I always want the shortest side of my piece to be on this side, the part where it falls away. Oh, wow. Yeah, real close with that 31.5. It is right there. Hey, that looks good. Let's see. Here. Yeah. I actually blew my little piece of paper off mine. We now have ourselves, bada bang, bada boom, 31 inches of beautiful Eastern Red Cedar. Latin name, Junipers virginiane. I'm gonna store that in my little. Ooh. Oh. Sorry, I gotta think about things. Okay, so I'm going to be storing those on my table saw, so I'll be like running over to the table saw whenever I have to store those. I'm going to end up with a lot of these offcut pieces. So, like pieces like this side, kind of gnarly like this. But that was also kind of like the thing with like these pieces of lumber. They were very cheap because they had these like terrible defects in them. They were very cheap. I think I paid like $2 or $3 a board. Like it was really cheap, or maybe $5, because this is like a 6-inch across board. But these boards were cheap. But I am gonna end up. When I was planning out all my part listing for the stream, when I was like selecting out all my lumber for my stack, I knew I'm going to end up with quite a few pieces that are roughly this size. And actually, the game plan for all these pieces, which is why I'm kind of concerned about making sure I have like a reasonably dedicated spot, because I will be generating, I'm expecting to generate a fair number of these, is I will still have pretty decent sized pieces of wood for making birdhouses. And that's going to be a stream later this month. This is going to be making some birdhouses. So a lot of this off scrap from these 1x6s, this 1x6 cedar, you're going to see it again here. You're going to see it again here in like a week or two or so. I don't know. I don't know. I was originally planning on doing birdhouses next week, but I don't know how far I'm going to get today. Because, yeah. Because we're hour and 15 in and we're still slicing and dicing lumber. And this is actually something I want to finish on stream. So we might get lumber cut up. We might get some prep work done as far as building stuff, and we'll see. We'll see. But yeah. I probably should do work. I should be working and not yapping. Well, I mean, hey, I'm being. I am a woodworking VTuber who has way too many other hobbies, and yeah, I'm gonna yap a little bit here and there. Sorry about that. But yeah, we gotta clean this edge up first. Yeah. Okay. So, overall, I'm really liking the lay of this. Oh yeah. I was selecting out for my 71-inch, and then others I was looking at for my 31. Honestly, I like this for a 71-inch piece. So I'm gonna take this, flip it around, and yeah. Look at this piece. Another like Another thing that really attracts me to using this piece for my sides is, so I'm sure some of you have noticed that a lot of some of this wood, you see a lot of this purple reddish color. This is actually the heartwood of cedar. So, and this here is have a better display. Here's the best display. So look, we're gonna yap a little bit about wood and why I'm selecting board. So heartwood, it's this nice colored stuff. It's colored because the tree actually dies. Like these cells actually die when the tree makes the heartwood, and they deposit lots of chemicals. And these chemicals make this wood very rot resistant. So that's the reason why when I see all this red purple color, I'm like, ooh, this is a lot of heartwood I have here. This is gonna be very durable, very rot resistant. And I really want to make sure I select out some really good boards for that, because the bottom, like the bottom sides of the words cold frame are going to be exposed to soil on a lot of it, and going to be exposed to soil, moisture, all that stuff. So cedar is a generally rot resistant wood, but the heartwood in particular is what is really rot resistant and will really help this cold frame. Using as much hardwood as far as like the parts of the thing that are going to be connected to the ground, that is going to make this the most durable. It's going to make it a lot more durable. I'll start yapping and work more, okay? So that's 71 inches. Up. What we got? Bada bang, bada boom. But yeah. So, like, we're gonna end up with a lot of these nice, like, these are gonna be like really good sized pieces for birdhouse making. So, have this piece for making a cold frame. Do the table saw with you. Okay. Whoa, Mr. Problem. Okay, you know what? I'm going to talk about the problems in this board later. Mostly because I want to start down here and then work my way that way. The problems are that way. But I do want to do a quick double check. So I do want to pull my 31.5-inch pieces out of this. That's what we're going to go for with this piece here. But first, I have a rough edge that needs to be cleaned up. Rough edge is now cleaned up. Let's. There. We can bring you on down. Want a 31 and an inch piece of lumber. Also, another thing that's going to probably impact stream length is unfortunately my general comfort, because even though I do have a space heater running somewhere, it's putting out a little bit of heat, but it's still cold in here. Yeah, yeah. So, actually, I do keep a handy dandy thermometer, full portable thermometer. But yeah, it's 60 some odd degrees Fahrenheit, and I can actually convert this to the actual like reasonable. Oh yeah, so it's like right below 16 degrees Celsius in here. So that's just a bit of an idea of how like cold it is. It's reasonably, and I'm just saying that because it's at the point. My hands are at the point where I'm starting to, they're starting to feel a little chilly. So, and what? I'm kind of sorry that this isn't like super like particularly like Valentine's Day themed, except maybe perhaps for the color of the wood I'm working with. But I was wanting to. One of the things I was kind of like thinking about going into this week was doing a chocolatiering around the campfire stream. But when I was working on my stream schedule, I just could not think of. I didn't have a lot of inspiration for recipes for the chocolatiering stream, and I was also not particularly motivated on Sunday to research recipes and then build the schedule because I didn't want to commit to a stream that I didn't know I was going to do, and the weather for this past week was a little weird too, but it's also going to be weird next week. It's going to be cold next week. Which sucks because I actually really want to do a because I would like to do a campfire cooking stream next week. It's been actually. Oh no! Wait, I did campfire cooking like last Sunday. It wasn't specifically themed campfire cooking, but we at least got to hang around the campfire. Okay, so we've at least hung around the campfire in at least the past week. But yeah, so yeah, I will just have to. So for what's probably going to be the next campfire cooking stream is going to be I want to make mabuf tofu, I think is what it's called again, but I want to make that dish. Some people might know it as like the dish that the lead female character from Angel Beats really liked. I want to make that dish. So that's the game plan for the next campfire cooking stream, but I don't know when or anything that's going to look like, because it's going to be cold, unfortunately. Enough of me complaining. I should work. I should be working. Granted, this is also like the best thing about being single is I don't have to deal with honeydews. And honestly, the worst thing about honeydews is you have to get those done on her schedule and not your own. And I am a slow life hobbyist guy. I like to take it easy with my projects and my working on things. I don't like to be held to other people's schedules. Okay. So, my 31 has right in here. And after I cut this piece off, I'm gonna show you the problems at the other end of this board. Okay. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a quality check. Yeah. Look. That's 31 and a half. Sorry I can't show you better, but that's best I can do. So, this goes to the table saw. That's where I can just stack the lumber. So, we've got, as far as flaws, we have this part right here. It's a straight hole. But one thing I am thinking about, which I'm not entirely sure how I would make this work, but I do want to make this idea work, because the only problem is I'm gonna have to make the hole bigger. Is for the bird box build, that's already a pre-made hole that I could just widen out and such. I feel like it would make like the bird box be a little bit more natural. So, but yeah, if we come a little bit further down on the board, you can kind of see. Oh yeah, there you can really see it there. But yeah, let's flip that around. Yeah, and we have like pretty actually decent clear wood here worked with. A little really wide. How wide is this compared to down there? I'm curious. That's like 6 inches. That's quarter? Or 6 actual? 6 actual. Huh. It just looks wider. Huh. Okay. But yeah. This would be a good piece of scrap lumber. Off to the side. And since I am a slow life hobbyist, I'm gonna enjoy my water. Definitely take your water breaks, kids. Stay hydrated when you're on the job site. Okay. Next victim. Come on down. We're gonna once again do our classic. Clean up the end. And we'll go from there. Granted, I'm getting a lot of like nice small little pieces for starting campfires and such. Granted, some of these small pieces will be good for some. Oh! Heavy. Heavier than I anticipated. Okay. Spin it around. Put it on down. So, we want 71 inches out of you, buddy. Brings us to right and oh. We're gonna have real nice offcuts. Okay. Good enough. Hot diggity dog. Yeah. We managed to avoid a little bit of this, but granted, that's not really like not the worst imperfections a piece of wood can have. Real nice big knot in the center, though. Granted, that would actually be really cool to turn into like the hole for a bird, like a birdhouse. Have like that. But yeah, we're like the fact we have so many like we're gonna have like so many like large-ish offcuts. Like we're gonna be eating really good on in terms of having offcuts for another project. So this there. Yep. Boy. So I was looking through my stack and it looked like I only had like 2 pieces left, but it did have 3 because I need 3. Because we've got 3 of our short pieces out of this, and then we've got 2 of the longs. So I'm looking at getting another long piece, but whatever. We're gonna go with it and have fun. Like some of this like bark stuff on it. That's not end of the world, but this means we're gonna want that side. me inside the cold frame. Hide our mistakes with the side that the plants will see, and not the side that the human beings will see. So, one. Got. Okay. Bada bang, bada boom. Another piece. Woo. Okay. So, I'm gonna double check you. 20 inches across. Not big enough for these short pieces, unfortunately. Okay, next victim. Okay. And so this next one is going to require some evaluation. I'm going to trust that. Okay. So you guys can't see the big issue further downstream. We'll get to that later. But for now, I'm going to cut. I'll clean my edge up, and we're going to work on getting two 31 and a half inch pieces out of this. And after that, I will show you the big rut-row raggy at the other end of this board. Because it's a big rut-row raggy. Come on down. You guys might be able to actually see. Might be able to see it after I take this piece out of it. See. Okay. Oh, first try. Ta-da. And we'll do a quick quality check just to make sure. Bada bang, bada boom. Okay. Look at one potential flaw on this. This piece has. So you can kind of see it. We've got this line right here. It goes all the way back up into here. That's a really big flaw, but I don't think the flaw goes as far or deep. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my piece out because the flaw's not too bad in like this side of the world, and it gets progressively worse as we go this way. And with my cut being here, this should be fine. Should be. We'll see. Okay. Okay. My flaw does look like it goes all the way through, but it's not the end of the world. Not just yet. And after I do my QC on this, it is past QC. I'll show you the really big snafu. Here's the really big snap. Oi, oi. That board's got a problem right there. You can see through it. All the way through it. And then it's also got like this really gnarly knot here. Like, I mean, I could probably cut like this and then like take out a bit of a board, but yeah. That is certainly the biggest flaw on the board we've seen today. Granted, speaking of building birdhouses, I mean, you got plenty of good lumber down there on that side. It's just the fun thing about taking 71-inch cuts out of these pieces of wood means I have a reasonable amount of... Oh gosh, I end up with a reasonable amount of scrap, so that means I actually have plenty of stuff to work with. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, this one's pretty. But we will do our standard process cleanup cut, but we're gonna actually come in a bit further this time, mostly because I have all this through stuff and we're probably gonna just cut it off here. So I'll be coming in a little bit more aggressively just because of how much of a flaw I have here, and honestly this will probably just get turned into firewood scraps. But let's go. But yeah, that flaw actually goes all the way through. And yeah. And with that, firewood scraps. That's what that's gonna be. Over there? Over there, to you. Okay. How likely can I take 71 inches? Nope. I tried. I wanted to try because well, actually, you can actually see a lot of what I wanted you guys to see now, and that is like you got not here, 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 not there. Knots everywhere, but it looks, I don't know, I don't think it looks as good on the camera as it does in like real life, but it kind of looks like Van Gogh's Starry Night with all the like swirls of the like the wood grain and such. I think it's very aesthetically to me. I think it looks very pretty. Granted, that's also just one side of this board. Because this side's like mostly like the heartwood side. And the other side does not look at... It's not as near wonderful. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's got like all this nice like streaking and such, and then you go to the other side and then you see like traces of bark and such, but still plenty good like piece for... Ooh. Okay, so I have filled up that storage, but kind of bring this more like in. You can kind of see all like the swirls in the wood grain and such. Personally, I think it looks real nice, but that's just me. And what the hell do I know? I'm just some silly male. But yeah, we got some art and such, but honestly, all this is going to be plant side, and then this is going to be external. Granted, the really sad thing is, this thing is not going to retain this color after exposure to sun and such. It's actually going to turn this brown color. So all this pretty like purpley red color, it's gonna turn into this brown off color. That's what's gonna eventually end up looking like. Unfortunately. Ew. I just have to figure out how to turn myself around. Ew. Oh. So. Once again, I'm going to be doing some evaluating. So this flaw goes all the way up to here. On that side. But the flaw only goes as far up to here on this side. So I'm going to be focusing on cutting it here. Because as long as the flaw doesn't go all the way through the piece, that's fine. That will be fine. Okay. And just like that, the piece didn't even try to stay together. It just fell apart. Oh man, though. I love the smell of this stuff. I know I've probably said that way too many times this stream. I really do. I love working with this wood. And actually, I do. So I bought all this lumber for the EPA woodshed build, which is out that way, in the yard. And I bought extra because I knew I wanted to do a whole bunch of projects with it. Right now, some of those ongoing projects are the Japanese sawhorses. We finished the first one of those, but we got the second. We're working on the second one now. We're cutting mortises. I think I actually only have one more large mortise to cut, and that's all the large mortises cut. Then we can start cutting the tongues. Yeah. Tongues? Mortise? Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know. What do I know? I'm actually starting to get real cold. Oy. But yeah, so I bought all this wood for that build. But moving forward with trying to think, trying to process thoughts right now. So my sister wants me to build her some raised cedar. Well, actually, she didn't specifically say cedar. She just said she wanted me to build some raised beds, like kind of like raised beds, because the previous owners of the home she purchased last year, they built some beds and they've already kind of started to fall apart. So I will probably be seeing her tomorrow, and I think what I'm going to do is talk to her about her build for her raised beds, so that way I can plan out my next trip to the lumber mill that I bought these from, because what will probably do is I will draw up measurements, get a idea of how much it's going to cost me in terms of lumber, and I will figure out how much lumber I need to buy. And then when I go out there for that trip, I will buy extra lumber, so I'll have plenty of lumber for off projects like this, because This project is entirely supported by extra lumber I bought way back when, which I think was like October, September, something like that. I don't know. But yeah. So I will be eventually replenishing my stock, because after I finished selecting out all these boards for today, I was like, wow, I really don't have a lot of stock left. I mean, I still have a decent amount. I mean, honestly, with the amount of offcuts I have today, I should have plenty for, like, I mean, offcuts alone, I'll have plenty enough to build like a couple of birdhouses, which is what I want to do with the offcuts from today. Is they will be used for making birdhouses. I actually bought a lot of extra of this lumber specifically for the purpose of building birdhouses and bat houses. I don't know if I have enough of this stuff for bat houses. If I'm a little bit constrained with like some of my larger pieces, I should be fine. I don't know. I'm just a guy yammering. I am just a guy who is yammering. Okay. That's gonna be my 71, and this should be my last one of 71. Okay. Here. Okay. It'll be fine. I went a little bit long past my cut, but hey, just being a little bit off with being a little extra long isn't really gonna use very much. But hey, look at all this beautiful dark red cedar. We get into a little bit more lighter colored wood on the other side, but what if? Okay. Oh. Good news. I am done cutting pieces of wood. I'm not... so, the thing I'm actually currently debating right now is whether or not I want to end stream now or keep going, because the motivating factor to stop is the fact that my hands are actually starting to get cold, because I am a weak old man and I don't handle cold as well as I did back in my younger days. And then we can save assembling for another day. There's also creating the notches in my 2x4, the 2x4 pieces, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that on stream or not. Because honestly, my original game plan was to actually go a little bit longer today, but because one of the things I'm going to have to do is I'm actually going to have to like kind of break down, well, not really break down, but I'm going to have to take Myers Salcoon here and push him away. And then I'll do like a little bit of camera adjustment and then bring Table Salcoon in here. And then the original game plan was to bring Table Salcoon out and we'll do stuff with Table Salcoon. That was the original plan. But the thing is, I am getting cold. It is cold in my shop. Because I do have like a small electric heater. I don't know. Apparently, according to this, it's warmed up to 62 degrees. But it's still 16.7 Celsius. But yeah. My rinky-dinky little electric heater doesn't really help me. Probably that. Because I actually do have like a... I actually have a supply vent for from like my house's HVAC that runs into this garage. Technically not supposed to do that, but that's how the last homeowner of this home did things, and that's on them. I do want to say I am kind of sorry I couldn't keep going for longer, but hey, I'm going to be fully... I also am going to be honest with my words here, and that is, it's Valentine's Day. And you know what? I don't have a love. Well, I don't have like a sig fig in my life, but hey, you know what? I can always love number one. So I'm gonna be taking care of myself, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll be ending here soonish. I'm probably gonna yammer a little bit just to kind of drag things out a little bit longer, but hey, we did pretty good. We've got nearly all our lumber. Is image two? Image two? Yeah, there we go. So we've got most of the lumber cut out. One thing we have not done, and I'm probably not gonna, I don't want to do on stream, is you'll notice I cut 5 boards out of all my 1x6s. One of those 1x6, well, one of the 1x6s of the short ones has to be cut in half. And I have to do that with a circular saw. So I'm going to have to set some stuff up, clamp it down, and then I'm basically going to, what I'm going to have to do is go from like, actually, can I bring that into frame? I can't. But I can actually drop that back. And we can talk about what I have to do. Basically, I'm gonna cut from one corner to the other corner. But yeah, that's gonna actually be the hardest cut with the build. So I'm gonna bring this back and yammer. Okay, that's good. But yeah. I have to do that, and I really want to actually do that off stream. What I'm probably gonna do for my 2x4s is I'm gonna, because I've got these like small offcut pieces. I will try notching these at the table saw, and if I can notch these fairly well, hey, we'll work on this project later. Yeah, but yeah, I am actually quite cold and fortunate. I also have a shop I have to clean up, which I am going to show. But yeah, here's our lettuce. Got really covered in sawdust today. Granted, everything got real covered in sawdust. Like, granted, it's also kind of one of the fun things about working with this wood is it makes the ground pink. But the ground over there is very pink. But that's also a very easy area for me to like sweep up and such. So, yeah. But yeah, sorry that I couldn't be. I was initially wanting to be more motivated today in terms of getting stuff done, but yeah, it's cold. I'm cold. It's Friday night. I want to take it easy. I'm old. So I am gonna say I will commit to resuming this build on next week. It'll probably happen next Tuesday. Will depend on what the weather is, so for next week's streams, I will be out of town next weekend. I'm actually on call this weekend, which is the reason why I'm not doing. Well, originally was wanting to do the stream on Saturday, but then I got reminded that it was my brother-in-law's birthday this week, and I was like, hey, I should take you out to eat, whatever. And I haven't seen him in like over a month, so hey, I hopefully get to see him and my sister and see the little niece and nephew and all, and do some family time tomorrow. So I'm going to take some time and do some family time tomorrow. And then on Sunday, I might be hanging out with Good Guy Trav. I think we're leaving that kind of up in the air. We talked a little bit earlier today, so yeah. But yeah, I'm also, with me being on call, I can't do a Sunday morning stream. So, big sorry on everything, but hey, I'm a guy just trying to live my best life, and I'm actually going to take that effort to live my best life and take care of myself. And I certainly hope all of you out there do your utmost to take care of yourselves, because guess what? You deserve it. We all have to look out for number one. And also, I have done a really good job of not getting sick this winter season and I don't want to get sick because I spent too much time in my cold shop. So I probably should have fired up the kerosene heater, because boy does the kerosene heater really heat the shop up if I let that little thing run, because that little thing will get this heated up nicely, which unfortunately, looking at next week's like the temperatures for next week, it's definitely be cold. And also I can do a better air. I can also set things a little bit up. Well, I can set things up better for the assemble. And assembling projects here on the channel has always been kind of a struggle for me. Just simply, well, especially like large projects like this, where I'm working with pieces of wood that are like 6 feet long. It's always really awkward to make builds happen with this much frame of reference, especially to make it like reasonably entertaining. I feel like slicing and dicing lumber like here, like I'm reasonably happy with this setup. I'm actually really happy with this camera angle, because like it is certainly very hand cammy, you know. You get to see the hands, you get to see me do stuff, but you don't get to see like too much or whatever, or see anything you don't need to be seeing. We'll put it that way. So this is Sugi Yamagawa here, and I hope you will have a lovely evening, night, morning, whatever it is, wherever you're at. And I would also like to take a moment on this special day to wish you all a happy Valentine's Day. And whether you have someone to love and someone to or having that person love you, or if you're just gonna take care of yourself like this old man, do what makes you happy. Because there's too much dumb stuff in life to get depressed about. But yeah, so I'll see you all in the, well, trying not to peek my mic as I'm trying to like do my exit green. But yeah, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.